I don't ever do the homework prior to the show, and and at this point, um, I don't use it as an excuse anymore. I kind of like it the way it comes out that way,
That's like a doctor, man. He ain't looking at your shit before you show up. He'll check it out.
right?
Yeah.
Y'all backwards as fuck too. So
That ain't no joke.
did I
Dude,
say?
today,
I kid, man. That's a fucking joke, man.
today I go outside. I'm out on my porch, and somebody's cranking fucking "I Will Always Love You" by Dolly Parton like it's gangster rap, dude. Fucking, I was like, you have got to be fucking kidding me.
Out of the little fucking PA, the little fucking public address speakers coming out of the grill and shit.
It was fucking blaring, dude. I was cracking up. Man,
That's fucking hilarious, dude.
people are something else.
It's episode 17. What do you mean?
It is episode 17.
17.
Welcome to episode 17. How's things?
It's good, man. I thought my truck starter died, and luckily it was something simple. So
Did you just get a new battery for it or what?
yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about something, and I can't even believe that I want to talk about this because I'm so annoyed with it, man. I'm so fucking annoyed with it.
Whoa, man.
But
You bushwhacking me with your bushwhack journalism.
What do you feel about this whole fucking, everybody's talking about all this cancel culture and all this stupid shit. What do you feel about this whole Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss and fucking the Muppets and all that?
Well, I mean, the publishing house for Dr. Seuss reserves the rights to not publish those books, and I don't have a problem with them policing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Police yourselves by all means, but some of it is a little bit much, man.
Well, this is what my personal thought about it is, why are we even debating this shit? I mean, it's such, and this
is a distraction, man.
It is a
distraction.
distraction, and here's my problem with it. The reason why it's just fucking manufactured outrage at shit. That's all it is. And the reason why I know that is because 10 years ago, I bought Annie and I bought for our kids. We bought the Looney Tunes like whole set, right? They came out with these new redone sets, so we bought the whole thing. Well, in the older ones from I don't know how old Looney Tunes is, maybe back in the 40s or 50s or some shit like that. Or maybe it's not quite that. I don't know. Either way, it's old. Like the old black and white ones and shit like that. Anyway, at the very beginning, it comes up with this fucking warning label. It says, hey, look, there's some shit that was done in these videos that are not so acceptable these days. It was a different time back then. Just be aware that it's there. If it's something that's going to bother you, then maybe you shouldn't watch it, right? And the reason why I know that all this shit now is just manufactured bullshit, fucking distraction madness is because nobody gave a fuck about that was there. Nobody came out and said, the liberals are fucking trying to cancel Bugs Bunny. Fucking no, none of that shit fucking happened. And you still don't even hear about it now. And my thoughts on it is, if you're using Mr. Potato Head to teach your kids about gender, then there's a fucking problem there, man. Maybe the mom and the dad ought to be teaching the kids fucking the right shit. It's so absurd, the outrage over it. And you're right about Dr. Seuss. The publisher has their own right to police themselves. That comes straight from his family that did that. That's Joe Biden didn't show up at the Dr. Seuss company and say, you got to fucking stop selling these books. You know what I mean? None of that shit happened. I'm so tired of hearing it. I'm so tired of seeing all the outrage about it. It's fucking stupid. And the fact that we're all debating this, and the fact that
I have no comment.
The fact that I'm bringing it up right now is absurd. It's just absurd. in my opinion. You know, that's the way I see it. Anyway, I've been wanting to get that off my chest because every time
Did it work?
Did
it work, dude?
I don't know.
Let me see.
We'll see. Oh shit. Anyway, enough bitching. Again,
Episode 17.
Episode 17. We got a fucking killer band on tonight. We got
yeah, I checked it out finally, man, and it was well worth it. You're right, man. That's something to hear.
Yeah.
It's definitely
it's good.
Definitely.
These guys are called Son of Gray, stoner doom metal band out of Colorado Springs.
That's sun, like shining sun of gray.
S-U-N. That's right. Way to make that distinction after he told us. So yeah, Freddy was super cool to talk to. Sorry, Freddy, I know what your name is. he was super cool to talk to. Really nice guy. You know, right in our wheelhouse of age. So that was nice.
And yeah, the band's great, man.
Yeah, band's really good. Definitely stick around to the end of the video. We'll have some kind of video or some type of music we're going to put at the end here for you guys to check out. And if you like it there, definitely go check out their stuff, man. Go listen to the rest of the record on Bandcamp. It's definitely worth a listen. If you're into one, you'll be into the whole thing.
Brian and I give it 2 thumbs up.
That's right. And yeah, we are sponsored by the Riff Rag.
The Riff Rag, covering local music all across Colorado.
That's right. They should have a new, I guess it's probably about 2 weeks out still before they got a new issue coming out. So if you want to get any kind of information from them, if you want to get a subscription, or if you want to run some ads with them, just get a hold of Anthony at the riffrag@gmail.com. I'm sure I'll put it up on the screen right now so you guys can check it out.
Run your ads, sell your merch, do your stuff.
That's right. Or support the locals, man. It costs you $12 a year, $1 a month, and it'll come straight to your email inbox. Can't beat that. Other than that, you got anything else, Christian?
Contact free delivery.
Contact, that's right. So if you're worried, there you go.
Nothing, man. Let's check it out, man. Because this is a great. What?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say let's check out fucking episode 17, but then you seemed like it was important. What is it, Brian?
That's not important enough to talk about here. I've already bitched and moaned enough. We ain't about bitching and moaning, man. We're about having a good time. So let's get to the interview. You guys enjoy. Here's Freddy from Son of Gray.
Son of Gray.
What's up, everybody? We are here with Son of Gray, or Freddy from Son of Gray. What do you do in the band, Freddy? What's your position here?
Vocals and bass.
Vocals and bass. And
what are you guys? A power trio, 4-piece, 5-piece, 11-piece? You got a horn section? What's going on?
Had to cut the horns because of rent space, but right now we're a 3-piece, and so it's me on bass, and then Ian on guitar, and Jim on drums, and that's how we've been doing it for a while.
Yeah. And how would you describe your music? What genre, if you will, if you have to put it in something?
I mean, stoner doom is the easiest genre to throw it into, and that's obviously kind of what got me going into this. I never knew it was a genre until about 5 years ago, you know, and all the bands that I was into, like Black Sabbath and Corrosion of Conformity along the way and things like that, you know, it's like all of a sudden 40 years later, it's like, oh, this is of a specific genre. So I fell in love with it, and, you know, felt like I found the home. So, you know, those are my 2 biggest influences, are Sabbath and Corrosion of Conformity. Yeah. I got to tell you, I went and listened to your records today. Well, the one record and the first one's a 2 song, right? Yeah.
I went and listened to them today, and holy fuck, I was blown away, man. I'm not even kidding. I love fucking Outer World. Is such a good album.
Thanks, man.
You know, when I first went and looked at it, and maybe you hear this a lot, maybe you don't. I don't know. I saw the length of the songs. You know, you got the lengthy songs, and I was like, well, we'll see. I sat through that entire album, man. It didn't faze me one time. It kept me so interested. It's so good, man. I'm not just saying that. I'm really not, man. Favorite song is, well, I wrote it down, Lucifer Smiled, man. That song is so good, dude.
And again, by contrast, I haven't heard any of this. You know what I mean? So I am the complete counterpoint to what he says when this comes up every episode.
And I love
But
your honesty.
but again, every time this happens, I am moved and intrigued, and I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's really good. Now,
Well, when I say I can't wait to check it out, that's an honest reaction to Brian's description of your music. So
it's I'm telling you, now I'm a big fan of High on Fire.
Yes.
And I would put it, I put it up against any of their stuff. I know there's a lot of High on Fire fans that are gonna get pissed that I say that, but if they do, go check out Son of Gray. I mean, it's really good, man. I'm really impressed. And,
no, thank you. We big High on Fire fans. When Son of Gray started, went through a lot of different players. Anthony was our guitarist for a minute. We can talk about that later from Riff Rag. But
wow, that fucking guy gets around, man.
he's in everything, man. but yeah, so when we started out, we went through a lot of different changes with the songs and where we wanted to be. And once High on Fire, once we all got hooked on that, it was like that was kind of our goal, to have that kind of energy and that kind of oomph in our songs at the shows and get the crowds riled up.
Yeah. Do you guys obviously over the past year? We'll get to the past year a little later, but well, first off, how long have you guys been a band? How long have you been a group?
Son of Gray's been together for 5 years. The band itself, with current members, has only been together about 1.5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
What can I just ask? Why are the other guys not here?
It was just a lot of changes. When we first started out, I was on guitar and we had another bass player and we were a 3-piece that way. And then when we realized we wanted a thicker, more fuller sound, we knew we needed to add a lead. So our old bass player found Ian. He used to work at the music store downtown as the guitar tech. And so a lot of people know him in town. Ian Hopkins. And so he brought him in and he was our lead. And then Josh left after a while because he had back problems. So then I went back to bass and Ian didn't want another guitar. He wanted to be just the guy. So I was like, if you can do it, man. And he does it. So.
And to further Christian's question, where are the other guys tonight?
Yeah. What the fuck, bro?
Jim had to go back home. Jim had to go back home to the East Coast, so I haven't seen him in a couple months now for family issues. So I hope he's doing well, and I hope to see him soon. We're hoping to get back together in the next couple months to start recording the next album and get back on it. And Ian was.
So you guys are on a kind of a COVID hiatus, huh?
Yeah, we haven't really seen each other. I see Ian now and again because we're still writing and putting things together, and I still have him fixing my guitars and stuff for me for the other bands I play in. But the Son of Gray hasn't done anything since, besides just writing in the background. But we haven't been together as a band, no.
And when did you release this last record?
October 30th last year. So it's only been out a couple months.
Nice.
When's the last time you guys did a show?
We had what was it? October, I think it was. Early October, we had a New Mexico show out in the desert, and it was crazy. It was like Tatooine out there. So it was a good last send off kind of thing. We were out there with our buddies Dust Lord. So it was a really good time. But and Article 15 was the other guys out there. I think they're from New Mexico. But that was our last show. Yeah. So it's been a long time, man.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to play a lot through before that, between March and October when all the bullshit kind of hit?
No, we didn't get to play at all. We didn't accept any shows. We took the New Mexico show because it was an outdoor gig and they were very protected. It was a small family kind of, small get together community type thing. So we felt safe with that environment. But our last show, I want to say it was February up in Denver, Lions Lair, I believe.
Oh, that's tough, man. That's, it's, but I mean, what could you do? I mean, it's at least you're playing it smart for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what to do now. It's, we've been offered shows here and there. I've been turning them down right now because it's just a little scared. And plus, I want the audience to feel safe too, because you know what it's like at a real show, like back in the day.
Right.
It's weird to say that now, but it's, but just a normal show and that excitement and that energy and stuff. And, it goes back to doing like live casts. It's like, it's so hard to get into that, it's because the energy is not there. You need people, you need that everybody.
That's what you feed on. I mean, I commend guys that can do that as well as some of them can, but I'm with you, man. It would be so tough to try and portray that kind of energy without having a crowd there. Now granted, I've played shows. Well, I'm sure we've all played shows where you got two people out in the crowd, but it's still people. You know what I mean? It's still people that are there to see it, and it's not just a camera in your face or something like that. I don't know, it's tough. It's tough.
It is. I've seen a lot of good some of the live shows I've caught. Green Druid did a show up at the Armory, I want to say about a month ago, for their new album release. And that was so well done. I mean, I was pretty ripped when it started. So it was just perfect. And it just, the lights and the camera work and their music was flawless that night. So
Peaches runs that place, Brian. Ryan Furr from Peaches.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's a friend of ours. He's a rigger from Denver.
Yeah.
Top notch, man. That's why when I saw that, I'm like, man, if I do a live cast, it's got to be with them, because there's no other way to do it if you want people to tune in, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Or how's the band? The age range of the band?
Oh, no, I don't mind. I'm 47, and Ian is like 23. I know it's, but Ian's awesome. He's an old soul. And I knew that as soon as I met him, because obviously playing with somebody that young, and bringing somebody into the band, and that I wanted to be, let him know how serious this was to me and where I wanted to push it. He got it right away. I mean, his head is there. He's in the game. He knows the game, and he plays it well. So it's, I think he's going to be big time, man, because he's so good on guitar right now. He reminds me of a young Zach Wilde. And for how young he is, I'm like, if he keeps going the rate he is, man, it's like, watch out.
Yeah.
That's pretty high praise.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You mentioned you met Dub, was one of the first people you met. Where did you come from?
We came from Texas, both military, my wife and I, Air Force. And then when I got out, she stayed in. And so I just kind of followed her around. And when we were
like
out
a good dependent should, goddamn.
Well, when she's supporting the music career, it's like, yeah, I'll follow you, babe. So, so yeah, we were out in Hollywood for a while, and I got to work in the movies for a minute. And two of the films I worked on were shot in Colorado. And so I was told the wife that whenever we retire, that's where I want to go, because it was just, it just struck me, So we've been here for almost 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is she still in service?
No, she retired, but she's still working for the government.
Gotcha.
What'd you do in the movies?
Editing and
yeah,
pretty much anything, shooting, editing and stuff. Tried to do it all, but it's fun. But growing up in the 80s and having that, working on a special creature, with Steven Spielberg at your back and stuff, kind of, and the reality of when you actually get out there is a lot different. So I don't ever want to go back.
Did you have education in that, or is that something you just kind of found?
No, I went to school for it, Art Institute of Phoenix.
That's two interviews in a row. We had an Art Institute guy.
Yeah, I'm still paying on it too. Dang. But yeah, we were stationed in Tucson, so I went to school in Phoenix for 4 years, and then after that is when we went to LA, because that was music and movies was always my thing that I always wanted to pursue.
Yeah, Christian and I we're both in production for live events, for whether it be arena shows, anything in theaters and stuff like that. Well, we were anyway, over a year ago, but
I was lucky enough to be on Slayer's farewell tour for 2 years, so that was awesome.
Oh my goodness, man. That is
Right.
awesome.
It's fucking dope.
Let's see. Now, was it a completely different band when you did the first two songs? Because you did the first two song in 2017, right?
Yeah, we were in Texas, and I knew we were coming here, so I started looking for guys on Craigslist. Met a guy, Christopher Smith, who was looking to do some Doom stuff. So he started sending me some things, and when I got here, we got together. He had a couple tunes. I laid the bass down to him and the lyrics, and then we recorded them. And we tried to do a band after that, but it didn't work out. But it's, I was like, I'm moving forward,
Yeah.
This is what I want. So
did you sing on the first one, on the first two songs?
yeah, before I had lessons. So
to be fully honest, it's a huge difference in your vocals between those two. I mean, it's and only in the best way. I mean, and it's not that the first one's bad, but the second one is just so fucking good. I mean, I don't know what it is you learned or what it is you do differently, man, but it's working. It's definitely awesome.
No, I don't mind talking about that. The first album, when we recorded that, Chris's wife was upstairs sleeping, and we were recording in the basement. So I kind of had to be quiet on the vocals, and that's why they came out that way, which probably worked for the, what we were going for. And on the second album, when we went into the studio and it finally got to the vocal part, I realized quickly I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
And, and
that's not where you want to figure that out, though, man.
No, I know, and I was the one I was flipping the bill for
that. Could get expensive to figure it out at the studio.
So the Jamie Hillier, we were recording up at Modular Overload in Denver. He recommended a coach to come in, and he said, like, even the big guys, Aerosmith and all that, will have vocal coaches come in and help them, or mold a song or make sure they're hitting the right notes and all. And I'm like, I'm totally down for that, But when I got with Chris Mercer from Denver as well, he was my vocal coach. Highly recommend him. He was amazing. And he, when I got with him, I knew deep down that I wasn't going to be able to sing in the studio right away. I was going to be a waste of money. So I was like, let's, do, 4 to 6 months of lessons and see where we go from there. And
wow.
So every week I was driving up.
So you guys, you put up off the recording sessions until you got through these lessons.
Yeah, it happened we started in November. Yeah.
That's so fucking metal, dude.
Not to the band, man, especially the drummer, because he's on first day.
That's not fucking around though either. You know what I mean? I mean
right.
that is a clear fucking commitment to.
Well, I knew what quality
your final product. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I knew what I wanted out of the product, and I knew I could do it. And that's why I told him. I said, if I can't do this, we'll get somebody to sing. But I said, I want to give it my best, but I need a minute to, because I said, I'm learning this brand new. And it took a long time to get in that headspace and, and stuff. So, but finally it just snapped one day and it happened. And I started going over Ian's once a week in his apartment and singing in his little fucking closet there. And we knocked the vocals out, and then we sent him off to Memphis to get mastered and stuff. And it all worked out.
It's totally fucking worth it, wasn't it?
Yes. Everything.
You can hear it too. I mean, definitely, Christian, when you go check it, if you go check out their Bandcamp, listen to the difference between the two. And so the first one, you said you guys recorded yourselves.
Yes.
And I mean, there's a big production difference too. Again, the production on the first one's, it's not bad. It's just, you get to that second one and it's like, it's a whole new fucking ball game, man. It's, I can't speak highly enough of it, man. I was so impressed. I mean, it's going to be on a regular play for me for a while. It's I don't know. Maybe it's just something that,
it must be good, man.
Well, give me your address after this. I'll shoot you guys some love over, man. Get you some merch and stuff, some CDs and stuff.
Hell yeah. All right, I will do. So, all right. So you mentioned Dub. Give us the scoop on Dub being in the band.
Again, the band going through some fucking crazy changes. And again, sounded nothing like we did now, today. Back then, And it's so it was me and Jim, and we were looking for a guitarist, and Dub hits us up and he's like, you know, I'm interested in Doom. I don't know exactly what it is, but I want to try it. And he came in, and plus he was like, he's kind of new at guitar, you know. I mean, he's not bad, but you know, he's not a shredder. But anyway, so he came in, and he was working out, and he was actually writing a bunch of stuff too. But it was other. Ultimately, at the end, I want to say it lasted maybe 3 months, maybe a little bit longer, but he was bored. I mean, you know, Dub likes the blast beats and you know, and the hardcore stuff. So I think he realized that he didn't like the stoner doom kind of thing that we had going at the time. So, but we're still great friends, man. He's had us out at a couple of his shows and stuff, and we're big fans of the Riff Rag and support that. So, and he did a great write-up on us for the album release back in October for us too. So.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
I got a chance to read that too. And yeah, it's kind of funny reading it. I could tell that he's not particularly a huge fan of Doom. It wasn't a bad write-up by any means, but he's like, like one of his lines is like, yeah, sometimes stoner doom could kind of lull me to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. But
which I guess, you know, I guess if somebody, if you're not into it, you know, I guess I could see that. But going back to like what you guys did, you know, I mean, it's stoner doom. If anybody out there is familiar with that at all, it's perfect. I mean, it's there. It can seem, I don't know, to me, I want to say it can seem like it's repetitive, but to me, it's so interesting, and your vocals over top it keep you so wrapped into it all that it's just, and the tones you got, you know, your bass tone is incredible, and it's in. Christian and I are both bass players, and
oh, nice.
And so my bass tone has never been anything like what yours is. It's very different. And if I were to have like the way I would describe yours is like more of an open feel, more of a, I don't know. That's the only way I can describe it. And if I were to do that in some of the music I've done, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work that way. But the way that yours sounds with those guitars and the drums and I mean, it's just, it came together, man. You really scored on this one. It's
Thank you.
Really good. I know I keep going on and on about it, but that's how much I like it. I think it's great.
What kind of comparisons do you get after people listen to your last album?
We've heard like at shows and stuff, Clutch, Alice in Chains,
Wow.
Danzig, of course, the last write-up we had from the Sleeping Shaman did the Corrosion of Conformity, High on Fire, and Black Sabbath, which, again, I was just like, that's all I need.
Right. Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So it's like to be able to play on stage with those guys or open up for them or something, I mean, would like, you know, that's the ultimate goal, you know, and get on some of these festivals and big tours.
Yeah. So how many projects are you a part of?
Currently right now too, I'm part of, if I can take it back a minute, when I first went to Texas, is when I ran into Jake Lewis, and he is from Burn Ritual. And when I met him, he was in a band Scissor Jack. They were looking for a singer. I went to go try out, and he liked my whole monotone thing at the time, you know, so I was like, great. And so I sang for him for a minute, and then that stopped, and he started a King Earth band, which was Stoner Doom. And that's when I got introduced to it. And it blew me away with the style of music and everything, because it was all the stuff I loved out of different songs and the groove stuff and slow parts and all just into a big fucking ball of love. And by luck, Monolord was on their first U.S. World Tour, and they were coming through San Antonio, and we got to open up for them and Beastmaker and Sweat Lodge. And it just, I mean, I was sold after that night. I was like, I'm never doing anything else in my life. If I break my back carrying my fucking orange stack up the stairs, then it was meant to be. But I'm not changing anything. And especially Monolord, that's what kept me in mind for a 3-piece. Because after seeing what they could do with just 3 pieces and the way they could make you feel and move, and I was just floored, man. So I felt like, you know, I had my kind of 40-year what do you call it, breakdown shortly before that when we were out in LA, where I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? You know, I'm 40 years old. I'm kind of a filmmaker. I'm kind of a musician. I don't know what the fuck I am. And a buddy of mine got me into NAMM, and I was walking around, and there's all these older guys, you know, my age and way older, and fucking in their battle vest and shit. And then fucking Chuck Billy was there from Testament. Nice. And
I love Chuck, man.
Yeah, and he's a fucking tower, man. And I was just like,
he's a big fucking teddy bear, bro. He's a fucking teddy bear, dude.
But I was like, I don't know why I'm looking for something else or why I need to look for something. I was like, I've always been doing what I want to do. And so that revelation there, plus, you know, a year or two later, finding the stoner doom just kind of set me on my path of, this is where I'm going, man. And that's how I'm going out, you know.
Nice.
Big ball of fiery doom. So.
Nice.
I met Jake in Texas really quick. I was in King Earth. We had a small run. It was pretty cool. And I think we recorded 1 or 2 songs. And then I headed north to do the Son of Gray thing to come here. And King Earth broke up. And a few months later, Jake hit me up and showed me the Burn Ritual stuff. He recorded 2 songs all by himself, did everything. And he, you know, it was self-conscious about it, and it was really good, you know. And I was like, no, man, you got to put this out there. And so he started doing that, and that became his project. But it was cool because at the same time I was doing Son of Gray, we were both going through the same things of, you know, just, you know, the same bullshit of making songs, creating them, dealing with people, all the same, you know, whatever. And so we became good friends and just talking to each other back and forth. And then he said he wanted to do a lighter kind of psychedelic style project. And he wanted to know if I wanted to play bass on it. And I'm always down to, you know, throw down some bass. Right. So I was like, hell yeah. So he made Gypsy Bird, which has become pretty popular too for him. So that's been taken off. So I actually got to put out 2 records last year.
Dang, so, lucky bastard.
Took 47 years, man, but
nice.
I got a fucking record.
The last Son of Gray album that you put out, was that like your first, you know, essentially full length that you did, that you've done in your since being a musician? Or
no, for myself, I've been playing since I was 13, and I think I've probably put about 8 albums out, all with different bands, and just me playing bass on them, or, you know, backups or whatever, and country, you know, rock, pop, different things and stuff. So, which is, again, it's I loved 80s music, you know, grew up in that age, loved my thrash and all those bands from the 80s. And so when the 90s hit and then into the you know, I fell out, man. I couldn't take it. Limp Bizkit and all that shit. I could, you know, I was out. And so that's why when Stoner Doom came back around, I was like, holy shit, like this is a thing and people are listening to it. And, you know, and like I said, at that Monolord show, it's like I show up and everybody's outside hanging out in their fucking battle vest and stuff and smoking and just good time and the whole crowd. And, you know, there was no animosity, nobody trying to fight, no bullshit. And I was just like, wow, man, it's like, I'm fucking pinch me, man, because it can't get any better than this, you know? So I was like, yeah, I think it's a great community and everybody's seems to be looking out for one another. And it's been a good trip so far.
Do you know of a lot of, or any other doom bands in Colorado or the Springs?
Dust Lord from the Springs. Damn, I have to pull up my list.
Damn, he's got a list.
Well, I'm putting. You guys are familiar with the Doomed and Stoned podcast and Doom charts and stuff? Doomed and Stoned is its own entity, you know, kind of thing. Billy Goat runs that, and so he puts a compilation album out for, you know, different states or different countries. About 2 weeks ago, they just did a Doomed and Stoned in Russia compilation.
Nice.
There were 58 bands on it. It sold over 400 albums the first day. over, downloads, and the downloads are all free. It's a whole free thing. It's just to get people out there and get the music out there. And it was on Bandcamp's bestseller list, not for that genre, but over any genre for over a week as a bestseller. So it's a big thing. And I think he has, I want to say at least 30 compilations out there now from Netherlands. New York just put one out. So I talked to Billy a while back in October, and I'm putting together the compilation for Colorado right now. So nice. I'm getting all the Colorado bands, from everybody, and just putting the list together now. So far, I have a list of about 120 bands.
Wow.
Of course, a lot of them aren't together anymore. I'm finding that out. And that was awful sad, because you're looking up these bands and name by name, little by little, every last post is back in February or March.
Of course.
And it's like a sad story looking at and it's just, but there are still a lot of bands together. And even if they're not together, I mean, you don't have to be together to have a great song on the album. If you got it, put it out there, man. So, but yeah, if you guys know anybody or anybody needs to get on there, hit me up, man.
Nice.
So as far as Son of Gray, who does most of the writing, or is it a collective thing?
It's usually a collective thing, depending on, a lot of times I'll write the riffs or come up with the an idea or something and take it to practice. But there's also been times where, like Ian and Jim were messing around and come up with stuff, and because he's always trying to get Ian in there to get him to jam with them and stuff. And because drummers have to play, man.
Right.
So he's always trying to get him in there, and then they'll record stuff, and then they'll cut out chunks and let me listen to it. And then it's like, oh, like, that's cool. And then, start working those pieces together, and then I'll put lyrics to them in the end and, polish it up from there, kind of thing.
Now, what do you do when you write your lyrics? Is it all story based? Go ahead.
I love this question, by the way, Brian, and I'm so glad you ask it every time, because I would forget completely.
Is it a story-based thing? Is it personal? Where do you draw from when you're doing your lyrics?
I don't really know. Disease, for one, on the album, if you listen to lyrics on that one's very personal for me. And that was kind of not an easy one to write, but it's stuff that happened to me over 20 years ago, and I remember seeing or reading an article about Maynard from Tool talking about songs that he wrote, like Prison Sex, which is about him being molested, and how when he wrote that, it was such a good feeling to get that out of there and stuff. And I didn't understand that until I wrote Disease, and I welled up at the end and called my sister, and we talked about it and everything, because it was just such a feeling. But then I also remember too, Maynard talking about the flip side to that was that it's not a one and done thing, though. It's like, then you have to go perform that night after night for people and put it out there. So then it kind of still lingers. So, But some of the other songs, I'm a big horror fan, like we were talking about earlier, like the Mr. Ballin videos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Love ghost stories and everything. So like Silent Screams is just kind of like an Alfred Hitchcock, somebody being buried alive, but not knowing it until the end of the song, where they finally realize that they are dead, and it's, they're being pulled out by the dead people there to come join them, kind of thing.
So I could tell just now by your Freudian slip that when you think about these compositions, you think about them visually as well.
Yeah.
So you've got some. Do you guys do any video work yet? Have you put?
Yeah, I did 2 nice videos for the first album. So I can show you guys them. I haven't done anything recently for the new one. I had a buddy of mine, Oliver Scott, out in LA, do the visualizer for the album, which came out really cool. I can send you guys that link too. But I'm going to start doing videos here, hopefully within the next month. I'm currently recording the new Gypsy Bird album. So that plus 2 kids,
How old are your kids?
3 and 6.
Wow.
Oh, holy crap. Young.
Just get started. Boys, girls?
Boy and a girl. Yeah. Boys older.
Nice. So do you have any live recordings of you guys, like live videos? Anybody ever come shoot a show or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a couple online. Tree from local here. He's a big promoter, and he's been out to shoot us a couple times down at like the Zodiac. There's a couple, and then there's a nice one from Lion's Lair that was shot, which is probably one of the more recent ones. But nothing with my new vocals. It was like after I learned how to sing, that's when the show stopped. So I'm dying to get out there and.
Let's see. So what, you know, how's the album doing on, are you only selling it on Bandcamp, or you got it on some other platforms?
Yeah, it's on all the platforms right now. I think it's doing well. We had over 300 physical sales on Bandcamp, and my wife, I don't think, knew what she was getting into when she volunteered to take care of the merch side of things, but so I was like, all right, it's your deal. And but she did awesome, and especially getting those overseas packages together and all that. Absolute nightmare. I mean, some of the addresses on there were literally paragraphs long of numbers and stuff. And I don't know how she figured it all out, but everybody got their stuff and everybody was happy.
Thank you, European Union.
Yeah. No, that's great, man. Because knowing that it was just released in October, I was wondering if it's been, been tough at all, being that, not being able to get out and promote it as far as playing, if it's been tough selling. But I'm glad you're getting some hits on them, and you can't ask for much more than that. That's awesome.
I did a lot of work, constantly with the Instagram and the Facebook, and as much as I hate it, it's also, as you guys know,
it's a job, isn't it?
It's a job. And it's it's a nightmare sometimes, but it does pay off. We sold out. We had a run of 100 vinyl done for the album.
Nice.
So that sold out, I think, within the first month or so, 6 weeks. And we just signed a record deal with Cosmic Artifacts from Europe.
Sweet.
And so they're going to put out a order of a 500 vinyl, gatefold open, colored vinyl, splatter, a couple different versions. So, yeah, I felt like I
score, bro.
Right.
Yeah, I felt like I stepped in gold because it's like I was like, it doesn't get any better than that, kind of thing. So just to take that worry off somebody and not have to purchase that. Cause like the first purchase we ordered through disc makers, the vinyl, and it was about $1,800 for 100, which I mean that's a chunk of change,
Right.
But if you sell them, you do make it back. That's the great part. So, but
yeah.
It's merch is where it's at.
Right.
Merch is where it's at.
That's good. I see you guys, I don't remember the artist's name offhand for your new record.
David Paul Seymour?
Yep, I believe that's it. The one for the Outer World, right?
Yeah, David Paul Seymour, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you're of the old school where you got the nice artwork on the sleeve, and so I'm sure that it would be worth it not only to have a colored vinyl, but just to have all that kind of artwork that you have on the jacket would be sweet.
Yeah, when I hired David, I told him, because we had the image for the scavenger guy already, the mask, and that's what we said is we kind of want to have that like as a Eddie character, a Vic Rattlehead kind of thing. But the mask will stay the same, but the outfit could change and stuff, like Eddie does, where he's a samurai or whatnot, cowboy. And so David thought that was cool. And then I told him my inspiration, I was like, the Peace Sells album cover was my favorite in the world, man. I mean, I just, I still get tingles when I see that, man, just for what's inside and the cover itself. It's just amazing. And so, and that's what he came back at us with. And I was like, yes, and I told him, I said, I feel like I'm looking at like a kid, because looking at my first comic book cover for Creepshow or whatever, when I saw that, I was like, I think he hit a home run on that.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. And, you bring up Vic Rattlehead and Megadeth and all that. So yesterday was the 35th anniversary of Master of Puppets being put out. I can only imagine Metallica had some type of influence on your music.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe not now, but you as a musician. Any fond memories of that, or?
Yeah, I did the Columbia House thing, you know, the 12 cassettes.
How
And
many times?
at least 3 with the cassettes that I can remember. But and I grew up with a lot of sisters and cousins and stuff. But I mean, we were always surrounded by Cyndi Lauper and you know, David Bowie, the Doors, and things like that. But nothing heavy. And I got a little taste of heavy. My cousin left her mental health tape at my house, and that kind of, you know, got the balls rolling. And then I remember I did another Columbia House, and I got this Sammy Hagar CD I wasn't digging on too much. And I think it was The Give to Live. And there was a new kid that moved in down over the hill. And, you know, we were trading tapes back in the day and stuff. And he never heard of Sammy Hagar. And I saw that Metallica album, and I was like, I have to have that. Whatever is inside that case has to be amazing. Looking at that artwork. You know, it's all scratched up and beat to shit and stuff, but I didn't care. And he didn't know who Sammy was. I'm like, yeah, man, he's totally heavy. And so he was pissed the next day, man. But man, what a fucking night I had with that tape, man. Oh my God, just every song on there is a killer. And my favorite was always Welcome Home Sanitarium, man. It's, you know, just a good tune. But yeah, amazing album.
Yeah, it's funny. My story with that album, that when I was like, when I grew up, my mom had like the Black Sabbath records, a lot of stuff like that. I remember listening to a lot of Van Halen, Billy Squier, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, you know, obviously rock and roll, but it was never considered heavy metal. As I got a little older, not older, I say older, I'm talking like 10, 11, whatever. You know, I started getting into like breakdancing and rap music and Grandmaster Flash and shit like that. And then I lived in Hawaii at that point, and then I moved to Colorado, and I met this kid who lived a couple doors down from me. Ended up being my best friend for many years, and he and I used to buy each other tapes, and for birthdays and Christmases, whatever it was. Well, our thing was we would always buy the other one a tape and then listen to it ourselves before we gave it to the other guy, right? Well, I bought him Master Puppets right after it came out. And I was like, and I remember I give all my friends that listen to heavy metal, I give them all a hard time, like, oh, you're just a heroin junkie. And so I just say the stupidest shit, you know? And anyway, I popped that in my radio, and those first chords of Battery comes on, and I've been stuck ever since, man. It's that from that moment is when I knew what kind of, because I always knew I wanted to be a musician, but at that point I knew what kind of music I wanted to play. And it went from there, man. It was, I never did give him the tape either. I'm like, yeah, I bought this for you, but I'll dub you a copy, man.
I never gave mine back either, man.
Yeah, I saw them on Stephen Colbert or something last night.
Battery,
yeah, doing Battery, and they were saying that
it was good, man. I mean, I hate to say it, man, and you know, I did both Summer Sanitarium tours, man. So the first one was awesome. The second one, not so much, you know, because they were all sober at that time. And so that was a totally different tour. But man, you know, I wasn't really that big of a fan, but that performance on that show was pretty fucking hot.
Yeah. And that's another thing with bands like Metallica and Megadeth, and you know, I'm the same age as you, Freddie. And it's like, you know, it might not show in your music now, but any guys that I meet about that age, it's like, yeah, they were a huge thing back then, man. If you listen to metal at all, that was the pinnacle. You know what I mean? Those guys were the shit. And, you know, whatever you think about their stuff as the years went on is that's all personal for everyone, but you can't deny the fact. I can't deny the fact that those guys were huge. You know, they made that thing click in my brain that said, okay, this is what you're going to do. So.
Yeah. And lots of good albums, man. I mean, they're at where they're at for a reason, you know. I mean, they, you know, they put it together, they got their time in, and, you know, it happened for them. So,
right.
But that was my approach for Son of Gray with vocals is I wanted stuff that people can sing along to. I wanted stuff that people could listen to the lyrics and stuff, because everything that I love and grew up with, as yourself, we can sing along the Sanitarium. We can sing the Master of Puppets. You know, I can't sing the roar, 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 roar,
Right.
I'm not taking away from that. You know, everybody's got their thing, but for me, I want melody. I want, you know, I want the songs to the vocals to follow the music, like it did back in the day, especially like with lead guitars. I mean, Kirk Hammett's guitar back then and Alex Skolnick and stuff. I mean, their leads, you knew them note for note. I mean, they're so powerful, and every note had a purpose, you know, and that's kind of what I wanted to try to capture.
Yeah. You know, and you're right. As far as with Son of Gray, what I noticed is, like, I am not a lyricist. I've told this to everybody. I'm not a lyricist. If I try to write words to a song.
What episode is this going to be? 17?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
It's got to be up there, because I've heard this. I've heard you say that quite a few times now.
Yeah, and so
you bringing up old shit, Brian?
No. This is going a little different here. So anytime I've ever tried to write words to music, it will be on every downstroke, on every chord change. I'll sing right along. I mean, there's no melody to it at all. It's anything different. So that's what I like about your album, is that it's like, you know, good vocalists can make it a different instrument, you know. Christian, another great vocalist, can do the same type thing. It's not following, you know, the exact same beat. It's a nice melody over top of everything, and that's one of the things I really enjoyed about your writing.
Thank you. That was also a big team effort, though. I mean, between my band members and Chris and even Jamie Hillier, he had one of my favorite additives, and that was on Outer World, and that's where to take it to go to the outer world, you know, and just take it up that little bit. And I just was like, wow, once I started doing that, I'm like, it changed that whole chorus on that, you know? Right. So again, I mean, it was a big effort for everybody.
Right. Well, you know, a lot of vocalists, like, I couldn't tell Christian how to sing something and he would listen to me. He'd tell me to fuck off. You know what I mean? He's one of them kind of guys. No, I'm just kidding.
True story.
But I mean, you just saying that you took the time to get a vocal coach and take some lessons, you know, before you put out this album, which just goes to show, you know, it might have maybe annoyed the drummer or whatever to come out of the studio, but you know, that would show me, like, hey, if you have an idea, if anybody else has an idea, it's something you'd be willing to at least try. You know what I mean? And so good on you. Good on the band for putting their 2 cents, and good on you for trying it and you know, taking what's best.
I'm glad it's working out for you, man. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, selling 100 pieces of fucking vinyl, man, is a big deal for a band nowadays.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's nothing to fucking scoff at anymore, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not in this day and age.
I can't even believe vinyl's a thing. I just recently started collecting again, and now I'm like addicted. I can't stop, but it's
you got to be careful with that shit, man.
Oh my goodness, man!
You got to be careful.
I got the itch, but it's before that, like a year ago, I'm like, I couldn't believe it's a thing, and especially so hardcore into stoner doom. It's like anybody that's in that thing, there's such a big vinyl love for that, and Instagram followers and stuff just blew up when I started adding, you know, hashtag vinyl lovers and different things, because there's so many people out there, and it's like just even looking for good artwork and stuff on the albums, they'll buy it. So it's really cool.
Yeah,
excellent. All right, Freddie, you have reached what we like to call the lightning round. The lightning round is something where it's kind of like a Rorschach test. Christian and I were going to ask you 5 rapid-fire questions. We're going to take turns asking you the questions. Just answer the first thing that comes to your mind, and we'll move on to the next question. You want to start, Christian?
Sure. I'm going to start. How many sandwiches have you eaten off of the floor?
7.
Good. If you were trapped on a deserted island with only food and water to survive, how would you send me an email?
What?
Fair enough.
How violently do you have to fight the urge to scream when you hear the ice cream truck coming?
Oh, big time. But I think the kids beat me to it at this point.
Right. How many friendships have you ruined because you refused to play a game of Monopoly mercifully?
Oh, everyone. Fuck that game.
Do you agree that Harry Potter was a huge asshole and probably the least exciting character in the entire series?
Oh, man. My wife would kill me if I answer anything on this. So, I'm gonna pass. She's a huge fan and trying to get the kids into it, so I don't want this to come back and bite me in the ass later.
No, that's a good call, bro.
That's
a good call.
Good call. And that's your lightning rod right there.
She's running your merch store, man. Don't mess around.
That's right.
She is, man.
All right, so just a couple more things, I think. One, what's your plan coming out of everything that's been going on? What's on the horizon for you?
I want to get some videos done for some of the current music. I guess I know there's different mentalities right now. I know some bands are trying to put out music, some aren't. I know a lot held back last year, so I think a lot of big guys are putting stuff out this year. I know like High and Fire and different bands are all coming out. So I kind of wanted to hold back till 2022, because if we're not even going to get to play until the fall, not even going to get to promote Outer World at all. And anybody that's into us now is going to want to hear that stuff. So I guess I'm wanting to record through the summer into the fall, but then probably put out, early 22 would be my guess on that. And that's why I like having multiple projects, because Gypsy Bird will be coming out probably in October or so of this year.
Right.
Type deal. So it's nice to keep that going. And Ian has another side project too that he's recorded now, so keeps the other guys busy too, kind of thing.
Right. So you're just gonna essentially just bank a bunch of music and
yeah, I've just been writing. I mean, as the things come, same thing with lyrics. A lot of times, if I have to force a song, sometimes I'll pick a subject. You were asking about that earlier, kind of thing. And then like with Lucifer Smiled, my sister's a big Christian, born again Christian. So I called her and asked her lots of things about just Lucifer in general and how he was looked upon. And she gave me all this information and about and he was kicked out from heaven with 1/3 of the angels and stuff. And so that's where that line comes in, I'm back for war with 1/3 of your kin and stuff like that. That's where those songs come from. I lost train of thought on that.
That's all right.
Hey, I wanted to touch something real quick too, and this is an ode to Ian. He got me hooked on this because he learned from Adam Jones from Tool. I think Adam Jones uses 3 rigs, but we are both bi-amping, and that's how we sound the way we do and are able to do this stuff, especially live.
Mhm.
Is both of us are running 2 rigs. So I got 2 bass rigs running. He's got 2 guitar rigs. And has different effects running through 1 rig. And, the other thing too, that he learned, which blew my mind, is 1 rig, you're going to keep tight and chunky, the other rig, you're going to keep
going to be
and either amp by themselves don't sound great, but when you put them together, it is fucking amazing. And so he got me hooked on that. And then that's how we learned to fill kind of the octaves in between each other and fill up that space, depending on who's playing what, is because of the bi-amping. And a lot of the stoner bands are doing it now. So you guys might want to try it in the future, man. Really thickens up your sound. But of course, it's double the shit though. So
right.
What kind of amps do you run?
I got hooked on Orange a while back for bass. I was using Harkey for a while, loved them. And then when I got into the Stoner Doom thing in Texas with King Earth, I was like, this is it for me. I'm going out like this, so I'm buying the best there is, or at least the best I thought there was. So I went and bought like $3,000 of Orange, stuff. And I got the solid state head, the OB1 500. And because I love tubes, obviously, and sound, but weight and also taking them on the road is huge inconvenience for not having work. So, but the OB1 500s are amazing. So I ended up buying another one when I went to a second rig. So I'm running 2 of them. And then I got a 4x10 Orange and a 15/1. And then I got an Ampeg 6x10 for the other cab.
Wow, man. Sounds to me like you need a crew moving your shit around.
Right?
I'm trying to be good time.
You better be glad you ain't doing that many shows right now. Shit.
2 shows a year, man. That's all my back can take.
Oh, my gosh. No, you're getting the sound, so that's great. So is there anything else? Where can people find you?
Sonofgray.com, SUN. I know a lot of times people are getting that confused with SON, because I think people are kind of stuck in that Sons of Anarchy kind of phase type thing, because we kept hearing Sons of Gray and stuff. But the whole concept for Son of Gray was, the sun is burned out. It's no longer giving heat or whatever. So it's basically a gray piece of charcoal in the sky. So therefore the ultimate doom. So
sweet. Yeah. Just,
y'all are serious about your shit. I love it, man.
when you
somebody's gotta be, man.
when you send me like the videos and the link and all that, send me links, your Instagrams, your Facebooks, all that kind of stuff. I'll put all that stuff in the description.
Awesome.
We'll make sure it's there. Definitely want to get the word out about you guys, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I've heard of guys talking about you. I realized you sent me that link a very long time ago. Again, thank you for being very patient too. We changed up our schedule, which is why everything's kind of taken a while. So I appreciate your patience. You've gained a huge fan here. I'll have my eye on you guys, and can't wait to see you live, man. And if you guys ever go on tour, maybe a couple years down the road, you go on tour, you make it down to the South, come down here toward New Orleans or Mississippi, let me know. And
they like doom rock in fucking New Orleans.
Oh yeah, we love it down here. So yeah, just hit me up, let me know, and we'll get together, do something. I'll come check it out for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Always, man. So, and that's the plans. As soon as things open up, is we want to start, hitting out short tours, man, heading south and stuff. We got a lot of friends down in Texas and whatnot and Arizona. So we just want to start going a little bit and spreading the word, man. So
sweet. Yes. Swing over a little east and come out here and see me. There's plenty of places for you guys to play. So
that would be awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on, Freddie. This has been
thanks, Freddie, man.
Been awesome.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Been a pleasure talking with you. Anything else you have?
No, it's been a pleasure, man. I like what you guys are going on, man. So appreciate it. I was watching Crotalis's interview right before this, man. So
yeah,
come back when you get the guys together.
Absolutely, anytime. And hey, man, send our best to your drummer. Your drummer, right, is the one out of town. Yeah. Send our best to him. Hope everything's good.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
One last question, and this is not a political thing or anything like that. It's just a little poll that I take. Vaccine, no vaccine.
I don't know. Have you heard? Somebody told me yesterday, the guy at the dog park, because they know everything, right? But he was saying that if you get the vaccine, then you can give somebody the virus, like you're a carrier then. And I don't know if that's true or not, because that's where I'm like, so if somebody in your household gets the vaccine, everybody's got to get it at the same time, or you're just going to give it to, whoever doesn't get it in the household.
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that yet. So,
all right. So
only thing I've heard about it is that if you get the 2-shot vaccine, I know that a lot of people have had a problem with the second shot, getting a little sick, but I mean, it is what it is,
Well, yeah, I mean, they're putting it into you. It's like the same thing with the flu. You get a little bit sick because they're injecting you with the virus. So,
right.
Bro, you're prior service, man. You got all kinds of shit in you, dude.
Right.
Yeah, I do. So, but I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm kind of holding back until we see what happens. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
All right. Well, stay safe either way.
You too.
We will. And yeah, thanks again. And I hope we stay in touch, man. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Rock and roll, guys. And
Freddie Allen from Son of Gray.
All right.
Give me your address and shirt sizes, man. I'll send you guys some love.
All right, we will do, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Rock and roll. Bye.
Take it easy, man. Have a good night. All right. So you just heard from Son of Gray, S-U-N. That was Freddie from Son of Gray. This is he sent us over a video to show you guys. This is off their latest album called Outer World.
Outer World.
And the song is called
Lucifer
Smiled. Check it out. It's awesome. And again, if you like it, go check them out on their Bandcamp, man. These guys are awesome. We'll see y'all.
Fucking dope, man. Enjoy it for the next.
Yeah, that's right. Next week.
40-something seconds.
We are coming up on our I don't know if it's a celebratory anniversary, but an anniversary of having no work for our normal jobs. March 13th would be that day. So we are going to try and put out another episode next Wednesday, a special episode. So make sure you tune in and check it out. We'll see you guys then. Thanks for joining.
Peace. Send me another Word file. I'm gonna have to punch you in the face.
Shut the fuck up.
I just said I can't open Word files right now.
I heard you.